See, in the previous lecture we have studied about the malaria, which is caused by a malarial parasite which is called as Plasmodium vivax. So Plasmodium vivax is the pathogen for malaria and it is transmitted through female Anopheles mosquito to the human being. So life cycle of malarial parasite includes two hosts. One is mosquito and other one is the human being. So remember that female Anopheles mosquito is the vector which transfer pathogen, that is Plasmodium vivax, from mosquito to the human being. Okay, now we are going to study about its cycle, how it is get transmitted from mosquito to the human being. See the diagram, the mosquito which is shown towards the lower side of the screen. You can see this mosquito. This mosquito biting a infected man. So when it bites a infected person, these gametocytes, they enter into the mosquito's body. These gametocytes in the mosquito's body get differentiated into microgamete and macrogametes. So these two are the gametes. Micro is small and macro is the larger one. These two gametes, micro and macrogametes, fused together results into the formation of zygote. This zygote, it gives rise to ookinete. This ookinete, it get attached to the wall of intestine and then it enters into the intestinal mucosa. In this intestinal mucosa, ookinete is get converted into oocyst, and then this oocyst, it get burst open and these sporozoites, they move towards the salivary gland of the mosquito. Okay, so remember that the stage which is present in the salivary gland of mosquito is called as sporozoid and present in salivary gland. When this mosquito, it bites a healthy person, then which stage will enter into the healthy person? The stage which enters into the healthy person is here sporozoid. So this sporozoid, first of all, they infect the hepatic cell. What do you mean by hepatic cell? Hepatic cells means the cells of liver. So this sporozoid now enter into the hepatic cell. So these are the infected hepatic cells. These infected hepatic cells, in this case, these sporozoids are get converted into the schizont. Schizonts are get converted into merozoites. Okay, now this liver cell which is fully infected is get burst open and so merozoites are now released into the circulation. These merozoites, now they infect the erythrocytes. What do you mean by erythrocytes? Erythrocytes means the RBCs. So now these erythrocytes are get infected. In this erythrocytic cycle, from one erythrocyte, many of the erythrocytes or RBCs are get infected. In the erythrocytes, these merozoites are get converted into trophozoites. From trophozoites, again these schizont stages get formed. Schizont stages again converted into this merozoites. At last here, these erythrocytes are get ruptured, and this stage of the microorganism or of the pathogen is get differentiated into gametocyte. So this gametocyte can again enter into the body of mosquito if there is a mosquito bite to the infected person is there. So in that way cycle will be continued. Okay, so this is for the life cycle of the malarial pathogen. Once again, this mosquito biting an infected person, gametocyte enters into the body of mosquito. Gametocytes are differentiated into microgamete and macrogamete. This micro and macrogamete fused together results in formation of zygote. Zygote are get converted into ookinete. Ookinete get attached to the wall of mucosa of the intestine. It again enters into the intestinal mucosa, becomes oocyst, and this oocyst burst open and gives rise to sporozoites now which are present into the salivary gland of this mosquito. When this infected mosquito bites a healthy person, sporozoite enters into the liver cells which are called as hepatic cells. In hepatic cells, they get converted into schizont and then merozoites. Once they get converted into merozoites, liver cell get burst open. So this stage is called as pre-erythrocytic stage, before infection to erythrocytes. So these merozoites, now they infect the erythrocytes, which is called as erythrocytic stage. And these erythrocytes, in the erythrocytes, it get converted into trophozoites to the schizont, and again it get converted into the infected RBC. This is the fully infected RBC, which is get burst open and release the gametocytes, which can enter into the body of mosquito, and cycle will be continued. Okay, this is the mode of transmission of malarial pathogen, that is Plasmodium vivax, from mosquito to human being and from human being to the mosquito. Okay, now next to that we are going to study about the second kind of disease, and this second kind of disease we are going to study is about filariasis, which is also called as elephantiasis. Okay, this is the new kind of disease. Why it is called as elephantiasis? The reason behind that, in this disease, when a human being is get infected, his legs and arms becomes like a leg or arm, or we can say the leg of elephants, and because of that it's called as elephantiasis. First of all, we will see the causative agent for lymphatic filariasis. Causative agents are Wuchereria bancrofti, Brugia malayi and Brugia timori. What kind of pathogen it is? It is a nematode, also called as roundworm. I think you remember last year we have studied about the invertebrate phylum. If you remember, one of the invertebrate phylum is Aschelminthes and class is Nematoda. So this Wuchereria bancrofti, Brugia malayi, Brugia timori, it belongs to phylum Aschelminthes, class Nematoda, which includes all roundworms. Before starting with modes of transmission and all, we'll see the types of filariasis. Types of filariasis or the elephantiasis includes first one called as lymphatic filariasis, second one subcutaneous, and third one is called as serous filariasis. What are the meanings? When the lymphatic tissue or the interstitial fluid is get infected, it becomes lymphatic. What's the meaning of word subcutaneous? Subcutaneous, that means the pathogen is found below the skin. Cutaneous is for skin and sub for below. And third is serous, which is also called as abdominal cavity filariasis. So remember, filariasis, there are three types: lymphatic, subcutaneous, and third one serous. Of this, lymphatic filariasis is caused by Wuchereria bancrofti, Brugia malayi, or for Brugia timori, which is a roundworm, belongs to class Nematoda and phylum Aschelminthes. Now we'll see mode of transmission, how this filariasis is get transmitted from female Culex mosquito to the human being. For that we have to study a complete cycle. We'll see later on. Just now you remember that female Culex mosquito is responsible for transmission of this pathogen. Then what are the symptoms of this disease, filariasis? Symptoms are edema with thickening of skin and underlying tissue. What's the meaning of word edema? Edema is accumulation of fluid in the interstitial, in between the cells, which is also called as interstitial spaces. So in between the interstitial cells or in the interstitial space, fluid is get accumulated, which results in thickening of skin and the underlying tissue. Second point is Wuchereria bancrofti affects leg, arms and vulva, breast as well as scrotum. What is vulva? Vulva is the part of female reproductive part and scrotum is the part of male reproductive system. So in that region swelling is appeared, and one of the word hydrocele formation is used here, that is the swelling which is seen in the scrotum region in case of male individuals. Third point, in lymphatic filariasis, which is caused by Wuchereria bancrofti, Worms infect lymphatic system and causes enlargement of lymph vessels and nodes, which is generally called as elephantiasis, where limbs are swollen like legs of elephants. One more point is there, lymphoedema, that is accumulation of lymph fluid in tissue which causes swelling. Okay, so these are the symptoms. Regarding lymphatic system, we have studied in the topic of transportation. So I think the idea about lymphatic system, lymph and accumulation of fluid and swelling of lymph vessels, lymph nodes, everything is familiar to you. Okay, so these are the symptoms for filariasis. In the next part, we have to study about prevention and control, how to prevent this disease. As we know, it is caused because of female Culex mosquito. The most important thing to prevent this disease is avoiding mosquito bite. In order to avoid mosquito bite, what are the cure we have to take? What are the things we should do is to use the mosquito net, to spray the insecticides and all we have to do. And one more important thing, detection of microfilaria in endemic area. That means if microfilariae are available in the surrounding, we should detect and we should destroy that. So detection of microfilariae in the endemic area and avoiding mosquito bite are the points which come under prevention and control. Next part is diagnosis and treatment. For treatment, we can use diethyl carbamazine citrate twice a day for 3 weeks and for 5 days for every 6 months. Okay, so question of 2 marks can be asked on prevention and control and diagnosis and treatment. Before that, we have seen causative agent can be asked for 1 mark. What type of pathogen it is can be asked for 1 mark. Note on modes of transmission can be asked for 1 mark and symptom for 2 marks. That means can be asked in combination. 2 headings in combination can be asked for 2 marks, maybe for 3 marks and all. Now you can see in front of you a diagram is there which shows life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti. From where we have to start this cycle. Again we will see here this mosquito taking a blood meal from the infected person. So when this mosquito taking a blood meal from this infected person, it ingests microfilariae. So when microfilariae is ingested into this female Culex, from this in the female Culex mosquito, this microfilariae shedding or we can say molting takes place and it convert into larvae number 1, larvae number 2, larvae number 3. That means molting takes place 3 times and after molting this larvae is get moved towards the head and mosquito's proboscis. Here in the head region now this microfilariae is present after its molting. What's the meaning of molting? This skin covering over the body of this microfilariae is removed so that it becomes larger in size. So now this microfilariae is present in the head of mosquito in its proboscis. So when this infected mosquito bites a healthy person, this microfilariae will enter into this body of human being and this will grow according to the position. As we have seen 3 types of filariasis is there, lymphatic, subcutaneous and third one is the serous one. So according to position of this we can divide this filariasis into different kinds. Okay, so this is for the life cycle of microfilariae, life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti which causes the filariasis. Okay, so this is about these 2 diseases. Remaining part will continue in the next lecture.